introduce the topic or?
Do you just go straight in?
Just go straight in.
I love that, no intros.
Yeah.
So what, KSI, Dillon Danis?
Who was KSI supposed to fight? Who did we think he was going to fight? There were a couple names banded about.
Amir Khan.
I don't like Amir Khan, so I would have liked to see that because KSI probably knocking him out.
I actually don't know. Who was he?
Because I remember there were a couple names. I can't remember now. But I remember there were a couple names. People were excited that he was going to fight this person, that person. And the whole... It was just kind of deflated. Like, I could feel through the internet, I could feel the
Wayne Bridge announcement.
The Wayne Bridge, Wayne Bridge is a side man. Wayne Bridge is actually, that's who he was going to fight.
Yeah.
Wayne Bridge. Wayne Bridge is a side man, bro.
Even I was a little bit shocked by that. Like, I appreciate that what KSI is trying to do. He is actually being the one with the whole feud back and forth with him and Jake. He's the one that wants to step up. He's going to step up, fight at the higher weight. So he wants opponents at a higher weight to kind of get that practice in, get a feel for how he feels at certain weights. But obviously with the Wayne Bridge fight not happening anymore, I actually prefer the Danis fight for him rather than Wayne, because at least we're talking about fighters here. Obviously, Dillon's last performance that we saw Misfits against Logan, interesting. A lot of security got involved. It was a moment.
Yeah, I mean, Dillon's good for the promotion, but he's not great for the fight. Like, the thing is, you're saying like KSI wants to acclimatize to a higher weight, but Dillon's not going to help him do that. That's because you're not really going to be boxing.
Dillon's going to stand there and take punches.
Yeah, you're not going to stand. You're not actually going to have a proper boxing match against Dillon Danis. You know what I'm saying? Why Wayne Bridge dropped out as well was pathetic. It was. Did you see that?
Yeah, obviously I think that was his moment of realization that like, oh, maybe I'm not cut out for this.
He's a clown. Man only know you because my man beat your gal. That's the main reason that people know you. Like, how could you not think that that's going to come up? That's going to come up.
It's going to come up. It's a fight.
That's like Drake going to Misfits and thinking no one's going to say A minor. Like, dude, there's no self-awareness there. This is what you're, obviously, I'm a football fan. You know what I'm saying? So I know who Wayne Bridge is, whatever. I don't like John Terry. I think he's a scumbag. But if you're not a football fan, you're just like a social media entertainment drama fan. Obviously, this is going to come up in conversation. This is the main part of your name. This is what people. Well, I was sitting on the PlayStation headset with my friends that ain't into football, and I was saying, KSI is going to fight Wayne Bridge. And they're like, who's Wayne Bridge? And everyone just said, it's my man that my man stepped to his fight. That's what you're known for, isn't it? Yeah. You know what I mean? So you've got to have the self-awareness to know what you're going into. Like, of course it's going to come up in conversation. Like, people would have been pissed with KSI if that never came up in conversation. It would have looked... With social media boxing, some people always throw allegations out there of, is it fixed? Is it this? Is it rigged? And it would look fixed and rigged if you didn't say that.
It's just, it's techie, because had he had found out, say, fight week, and then pulled out, then what?
Exactly.
Then what? So it might have been a bit of a silver lining there for Misfits that, okay, Wayne's not here, but then at least with Dillon, that build up?
Yeah.
I think we all went to his Twitter straight away. I know, what he did with Logan, that was crazy.
Is KSI
but no.
He's not. Well, his guy's about to get stalked, blood, because that's we know Dillon's MO, blood. You know what I'm saying? Yo, KSI, JJ, whatever you're going by, lock up your gal. You know what I'm saying? Because Dillon's about to be peeking through a window of a Kodak, like Diddy.
It's going to be chaos. Yeah.
Like, he's going to be digging through all of her like internet history, trying to find her old MSN chats. You know this Dillon guy.
Forbid.
He's a top rattler. He should just be a promoter.
He don't care. Like, he's so ruthless with it. Like, it's peak.
Yeah, he's making millions, isn't it? He's making big money being an internet troll. That's the easiest job in the world.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what? Gal ain't paying for him to take his clothes off. He can't do no OnlyFans and that. Do you know what I'm saying? He's just gonna have to sit there and be a troll and chat shit about people, and that's it.
I think it's going to be very interesting because I wouldn't call Logan much of a fiery character, and even that build-up was peak. Dillon threw a mic at his head. KSI is a fiery character, so we could be seeing a lot that fight week.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? It could be fireworks.
Professional.
I mean,
KSI's professional in his own brand, but I feel like, I don't know, Logan's not really...
Logan is a lot more... No, like, there's a clear difference between him and Jake. Like, Jake has the kind of oomph to be a fighter. I think Logan is... The WWE suits him, let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
like, he takes on that role a lot better. So I think that fight will be good. I think the build-up, hopefully, will kind of make up for the fight itself. But you never know. You never know. Dillon might come out to play a little bit.
I mean, Logan did wife an internet hoe, innit? Like an industry hoe. That's just what it is. Like that's always you're a gal, so you might not know. As a man, that's always gonna get thrown at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know bare man that go to the strip club and fall in love with the stripper, but you can't take her home and put a dress on it and try and introduce her to your parents. Like, that's just not how this runs. Like, you're rich. Like, you're supposed to have bare again. You're
going to get picked at. Everything, every little thing, anything you could do as a fighter, like, especially these fiery characters, they're going to pick everything that's going to make you feel a type of way.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. But I think we'll see, hopefully, a different side to KSI and his fighting style, because we know Dillon will just plant his feet and put his guard up.
Yeah, yeah. He can be much more aggressive.
Yeah.
Than he has been in some of his previous fights, I think. You know, I don't know. Do you think that he'll look at maybe a mutual opponent between him and Jake Paul? I know they've got Tommy Fury in common.
Tommy's floating, yes, but he wasn't. I think KSI released people that had rejected the fight before Dillon, and Tommy wasn't in that list.
These men love leaking contracts. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
you hear about fights before they're announced. Like, man must be tearing his hair out sometimes.
These men love leaking contracts, bro. I swear down. That's what they do. Like, Jake Paul leaked the Canelo contract. Like,
early doors as well. Quite shocking.
Yeah.
It's I think the Tommy rematch is there for both of them.
Yeah.
It's there for both of them, but it's just whether it makes sense.
Tommy ain't doing that, but cheating on his gal, he ain't doing it. He's not
no comment.
You know what I'm saying? So he's
well, he was supposed to fight Darren, wasn't he? In January, which I think, like, after seeing Darren's performance against AT, like, I actually think that would have been a really good fight to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a lot of questioning about Misfits' matchmaking. I think this fight for KSI, like, I think we all kind of know how it's going to go, but hopefully we'll see, you know, a different side to his fighting style, especially if he's going up in weight. Is he going to continue with the kind of shoot fighters-esque kind of, they call it star jumps, but not trying to violate? Like, as a heavyweight, is that going to work? Could he bring that to the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say shoot fighter style, because I was going to say there's no style in that. You know what I'm saying? Shoot fighters has always been an MMA gym. As far I remember when they first started, you know what I'm saying? They've never really been a boxing gym, so I don't really know. I know modern day, couple people go there and box. I've boxed there as well. There's some good guys down at that gym in Acton, innit? But it's not a boxing gym. So, and his whole stance and frame and everything looks like he's set up for MMA. Granted, these Misfits boxers or influence boxers love to fight washed MMA man. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the tactic. Do you know what I'm saying? But it just don't look like a boxer to me at all. So you can't develop your boxing ability. And I do wonder, like, you know, me and Shane were talking on the last video about how boxing's getting better and boxing's more fighters are getting their money and all this kind of stuff, which is good. I wonder if that not hinders the social media boxing side of it, but you're going to see less boxers wanting to go into social media boxing or influencer boxing because you're making more money now.
Yeah, I mean, Misfits open up a whole pro division now as well, so there's that angle. And the pros they're getting in are kind of, I guess, balancing out the cards. For example, the last one you had like your Afghan Dans, but then on the same token you got your Ty Mitchells coming through. So I think it will just be interesting to see like how they bridge the gap, how they keep the shows kind of entertaining but still deliver the high boxing standards. Because as people go on, as people develop, like your Kennys, your Salt Papis, who kind of gradually are getting better, where is that bridge going to kind of, how do you differentiate the influencers from the pros? Like Dean's another good example. How do you...
Dean's a couple levels. Salt Papi and Kenny could not fight in the pros. I don't think.
But what do you do with them fighters? What do you do with them?
Dean, I would love to see someone like Dean bounce back and forth. I would love to... That we talk about crossover, but it's not really crossover because what we get is someone like Ngannou, who's a pro fighter, fight one boxing match, maybe two boxing matches. We see someone who's a pro boxer do one Canelo. It's not really crossover because... He hasn't. If Canelo will end his career and then do a Jake Paul fight, it's not really a crossover because it doesn't cross back over again. It's just kind of a one-off deal. But someone like Dean that could really bridge the gap between the two, I would love to see Dean take a real kind of professional bout and go and do a kind of social media influencer fight and bring it back as well. I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, because I guess like then bringing it back to KSI, where where people complain about like him obviously fighting MMA fighters and stuff. What boxers are kind of out there for him to kind of showcase his skill, especially as he's going up the weights?
I'm not accepting that as an excuse because man went and grabbed Pineda from the depths of wherever the hell he was from.
Pineda then became a low-key Misfit star.
Yeah, so but it started off as banter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it started off as banter. Like,
it was a late replacement.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, you can't tell me, like, oh, who am I going to fuck? Because, do you know what it is? It's like, the way that the Misfits thing is cool, and so the influencer boxing is cool, But the way you talk about pros is next level. I can't go and dubs man at 5-a-side and then chat to Saka. It's not the same. That's what it's like. Do you know what I'm saying? You fought someone that's not even a professional boxer, and now you're talking to me, who's like multiple. Sometimes they're chatting to like Canelo or something, for example. It's like multiple 3 or 4 division undisputed champion. How dare you talk because you fought Pineda or you fought Tommy Fury? That's like, how does that even make sense? How does that make that? Just don't make any sense. Do you know what I mean? So there's got to be some respect, I think, between knowing your level. I get it's promotion, but at some point, again, if you man can't fight a Darren Till, you can't chat to Canelo. Like, it's just levels.
It is levels. It is levels.
It's a balance of levels and promotion.
And it's also storytelling as well, because you saw what happened to, say, Assault Papi when he lost to Anthony Taylor. Like, a lot. It's the community itself as well, but obviously Assault Papi's back up here after his wins recently, especially the knockout with Kenny. But I think the community and the support is a massive part of Misfits, and it's so fickle. So I think they have to also consider like how they tell people's stories, because you know you've got Salt and Kenny who are kind of dubbed the kind of top fighters in that division. They come up against AT and lose. So like how this is where that you could be
you're the best guy at 5-a-side. You're the best 5-a-side guy. You're the best guy of the casual guys. You know, like them man that's got tech. Bro, even like myself, you come to my Monday Night Football, I'm one of the best players, but I got a belly on me. I don't train every day as an athlete. Do you know what I'm saying? Man's eating Morley's in the car on the way to football. I'm the best of the out of shape guys. Do you know what I'm saying? That's Kenny and Salt Papi. They're the best of the nothings. Like you're the best at 5-a-side. That's who you're compared to pro fighters. You're the best at 5-a-side. That's cool for you.
But then again, like when they hit the ceiling, like what do? Like, because then it is, because I feel like KSI has hit that point where he'll brush any influencer at like his level.
Well, he needs to see Jake Paul to make that claim.
Exactly. So that's what I feel like is his end goal at the moment.
But if he does he not feel comfortable taking that fight?
No, it's the weight issue from what I'm seeing. Obviously, I'm not in any, like, do you know what I mean?
What's the size difference in the weight difference?
Jake, I think, wants to fight at like 200 pounds, and KSI fights at like 175. KSI is now trying to work up the weights to settle around 190 in the hope that Jake then comes down.
How tall is Jake? Like 6'1", 6'2"?
I think so. I don't think it's correctly.
He ain't a natural 200 pounds.
But what's confusing is they both fought Tommy.
Yeah, exactly. What weight did you lot fight? Yeah, exactly.
It's very, like, from what I see, like, I'm not trying to be biased, but it does feel like it is Jake's team kind of pushing back. It's longing it out.
Jake's blowing himself up. He ain't got to fight at 200 pounds.
No, and that's what the problem is. So, but like, I think for KSI to kind of have his journey into kind of a heavier division, you know, we want to see him fight better opponents, granted. But if the kind of end goal at the moment is Jake Paul, anything in between that, it's not going to be Amir Khan, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? It might be. It might be, but it's not going to be
from an actual boxing perspective, it would be.
I mean,
from a boxing perspective.
Yeah.
What does KSI need? What tools does he need to go and beat Jake Paul? Does he need to be a better boxer? Does he need more power? Does he need more size? Need better puncher? What does he need? And then we can match him off the back of that. I question the people in influencer boxing, and maybe I'm being disrespectful, but I question some of their knowledge of actual professional boxing, because these are questions that you should be able to answer. I'm going from here to here. How do I bridge that gap? Exactly. And I don't really hear anyone in that scene coming to me with actual answers. In professional boxing, we come with an answer of here's what you need, here's the tools that you need to stand a chance to beat that guy, and then here are the people, or here's what you need to do in between to make that happen.
That could be as a result of environment as well.
I feel 100%.
Because, you know, we're all, at the end of the day, like a lot of us influencer boxers, we're learning. Yeah. Like a lot of people get in there pure novices.
He's the #1 guy in influencer boxing, and he boxes out of an MMA gym. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, like imagine if you box at a full-on pro boxing gym,
100%.
like then there'd be probably a higher ceiling.
100%.
Like not to, you know, but
that's what it is.
That is exactly what it is. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I think everybody's kind of waiting to see now after what happens with Dillon Danis, but you know, we don't know what the rest of the card is. There's been rumours.
Listen, we're going to cover that live on this channel. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Anything less than JJ knocking this guy unconscious is an L. Anything less. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he'll have harder fights with a punch bag. Do you know what I'm saying? He's probably had harder fights with his gal. Do you know what I'm saying? And both ways, his opponent's going to end up on their knees, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's all it is. He's going to fight with his gal, and his gal ends up on her knees to apologise, and it's the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Dillon Danis going to run up him and flipping knee slide like he just scored a goal in the Champions League final. That's what he does.
Start doing all of that stuff.
That's what he does.
If I see him go on his back again, like I just think that'd be so. I hope they've had like a discussion with him, or it's in his contract or something. Because what he did last time,
it don't matter though. Someone like him is such a character. He don't care about the contracts. That's what we've seen. That's what we've seen. It don't matter. He'll sign a contract saying I'm not allowed to do this, then he'll do it.
It's so true.
And that's what, because of the audience in a pro boxing world, that wouldn't get you any fans. But in this influencer boxing, just the general intrigue and outrage of it, that could genuinely get him some fans. People be like, oh, this guy's hilarious. He's a character. We want to see him again. He'll lose fans, but for every fan he won't gain fans, but for every fan he loses, for every 3 fans he loses, he'll gain 1.
It'll be KSI haters that he gains.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be.
100%.
That's what it will be. Unfortunately, Dillon is going to be the bad guy coming into this.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? But I think that kind of suits him a bit better with what's going on with KSI at the moment. But I just think, I can see Dillon maybe giving up on a stall. I could just see him kind of slowly giving up. Will he get knocked out?
He'll stop himself before he gets knocked out.
That's what it gives. That's honestly what it gives. Because
Yeah,
Logan didn't have that in him. Logan wasn't like a killer in that ring. He was just kind of kind of. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. Listen, like I said, we're gonna be. Are you gonna be there?
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, you'll be there. I will be covering it live on the channel with Shane. Maybe with Shane. You know how Shane feels about influencer boxing. Shane hates it. We're going to try and get him a little bit more involved in the influencer scene. But listen, let's see what happens, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know what it is. We're out.